Hey Acceptance Squad, this is Alex from Alex's Autism Acceptance channel, wherever you're watching in the world. Hope you're having a good day. It is the 246th birthday, actually 247th birthday of America as of now. And as you can see, we're in the middle of absolute nowhere. Look at this, guys. I just got back from my friend Peter Bijan's cabin. He has 480 acres. Well, not his, but like
it's a family's.
It's a family's, yeah. So as you know, I'm autistic, and he is autistic as well. We got his brother Alex in the back,
Yeah.
and we say he is severely non-autistic. Let's just put it that way.
He's the opposite of anything autism.
He really is. But today we're going to have an impromptu conversation because we were in a lot of nature for about 4 days. And I don't know, I just feel so much more alive than I was before. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah. So Peter, like, why do you like nature?
I like nature because it's the root of humanity's pleasure outside of the things that we've created. I like nature because it's a place where I can kind of just have silence of my own and thoughts to myself and kind of sort through my own problems slowly without anyone else rushing me, or myself by extension when I'm busy at my job, or when I have academic requirements that I have to get done at this time. When I'm up north, there really is not much of a timeline to do things, and it really helps me figure out what I want, what I don't want, and self-reflect on myself as well as the state of my life, and see what's really going well and what's not, and so I can focus on the positive and look at things with more objectivity.
Yeah, I mean, especially when it comes to like the silence and all that. I know you and I are prone to sensory overload, so just having like that space and time where there's just nothing, and you can just like be in your own head and be at peace.
You are, yeah.
It's very difficult to be at peace when you're autistic, and definitely just like getting away from civilization is just so necessary sometimes. And in regards to like thinking objectivity, I mean, we're just in the world where it's just like go, 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 speed. You can't slow down. You got to get things done, and that's just not viable for an autistic a lot of times. So just like having the chance to slow down and look at things objectively, very important. I don't know if you feel this way, Peter, but for me, like, it provides a sense of a lack of judgment from other people. So, because it's like in society, it's just so judgmental, and we can't handle that a lot of times. I know from personal experience.
And yeah, and also one thing, it's like going up north is really good, or just to any kind of rural area, because you would only bring people that you really trust with you.
Absolutely.
And you will really show them who you are at your core, all the way.
Like like at his cabin, like we have alcohol and guns. Like normally that's not a good mix.
Smoke cigars.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like you really have to be a responsible person up here.
Yeah.
So I mean,
especially as it pertains to those things, off-roading. It's not like there's roads up here that you can just take any car, because they're not really roads. They're just like semi-forest clearings, like big roads.
I know what you're talking about, that Bronco. You and I can go on that Bronco.
Yeah, we can, but even then, you know, we gotta like be careful even in the Bronco, because there are some like abandoned back dirt roads that are just you wouldn't even know that they were roads because they're so overgrown.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. I guess the question is for Alex. It's like as someone who's not autistic, how does nature appeal to you? And how does that differ from me and Peter?
It's got to be similar. One thing that that I take a lot of personal joy in nature, aside from I guess you could say all of the other talking points, it is a very therapeutic experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed. Just I like bird watching, so just kind of going to sleep, and then it's there's a lot of bird activity, and also I guess because of the lack of thermostat control, and there's no AC, so it's the windows are always open, right? Just kind of going to sleep hearing the birds, and kind of waking up hearing the birds is very I don't know, just brings me a lot of joy.
Right.
Well, I guess part of it is like that's the sounds that humans were meant to hear. That's what they were designed to hear.
It's definitely, like you said, like I guess humans were meant to hear. It's a bit more, I guess, natural, if you will. But yeah, that was definitely very nice.
Because they were,
Yeah, I mean, like I think because me and Peter and Alex, we all live in the suburbs, and like we hear like these planes going overhead, and we hear all these cars whizzing by. Like, I do think that has.
Sometimes we hear birds though.
I mean, yeah, they do hear birds as well, but I mean, it's also something that you kind of need to like listen for. Like, I can't even identify bird calls that well, but I just like listening to them. I just think it's a pleasant like noise or sound. But yeah, you kind of got to be listening to it a little bit harder, and there's not as much variation. It's like a little bit more limited, I find. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think for me is that like I'm a very spiritual person. I believe very heavily in God, and I think like when we're at the cabin, like it really is just like one of the last parts of God's creation that's left untouched.
Oh yeah, easily. Like these areas where it's just like there's no people, and there's a lot of natural wildlife, sure. And you could say that too about places like remote places in Peru and western Brazil where it's like the Amazon rainforest and that's it.
There was this one like thing, you know, it's like because the Bible they talk about, right, how it's like man is supposed to like whatever they have power over the world, right?
We sure do.
And you also talk about how like Jesus talks about what it means to lead and to be like, you know, the top, like, or whatever, like a good person, right? Like to serve, like the one that is serving is like in air quotes like good, you know. So it's like, you know, okay, like, you know, we should try and serve, you know, the nature in a way as well.
Oh, for sure, because the nature keeps us alive. Without Mother Nature, there is no medicine, there is no economy.
Yeah, no, things just like fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, there's countries where people with autism, back to basically the title of your channel, Alex, that would not get the services they need if the economy was not even strong enough to procure them, like produce them, make them a viable option for just our basic needs. Because at the end of the day, if the natural world is so in such peril that it can barely support us, there is no recreational therapy, there is no extra services for people with disabilities, right? Because there aren't as many of them, and we live in a very binary world where it is based off of the principles of supply and demand.
That's right.
And if it's not in demand and you can't, it's too hard to keep it up, then they won't keep it up. And disabled people would, I believe, be the biggest population of people that would suffer first from loss of habitat.
I completely
as it impacts the economy.
I completely agree with that, and especially with like so many of these, so many autistic individuals just want to get away from society, understandably so. But when like society is being built up all around us, and like when the places that me and Peter just enjoy so much are being taken away, then that can cause a lot of problems for us.
But that's the great beauty of the cabin, is that it has 480 acres of land.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Nobody's gonna let that get touched until we're dead. Okay? That's never gonna get developed. It may happen if the climate continues to warm and urbanization takes over Southeast Michigan, like it's too built up, I guess.
Yeah.
And city-like, then it will happen in northern Michigan. I can assure you that, but it won't happen on our 480 acres of property.
Well, I know you and I were talking about that on one of our long hikes. Because we were basically like, yeah, there's no way this place isn't being noticed by developers.
Oh, it sure is. They're looking at it.
They're definitely trying to like have some sort of plan.
Oh, they're bad.
But
yeah. They're not interested, but they're not all evil, but they're bad in the sense that they're not considering the ramifications of totally altering the environment from its natural state.
Yeah, because I mean, me and Peter were talking about this. Like, we take our morals over our money, and I know that's a very rare thing these days.
Oh, it for sure is.
Yeah.
Especially as inflation. That's something that people especially on the spectrum, need to be aware of, hence the name in his channel. We need
Ha.
to be aware that, you know, money is things are getting more expensive because there's more people that are consuming more. And that for that very reason, we need to be aware of what works for us and what doesn't. So we with autism aren't overusing services and relying more on things that don't cost any money to aid us in dealing with this spectrum disorder in a world based off of neurotypicalism.
That's
and
right.
Self-serving.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of society's problems are, actually, I'd say all society's problems are based on original sin. And
Pretty much.
I think, like, this is what we experience in the cabin was fairly close to the Garden of Eden. And that's where we had, like, no judgment.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think there was moments of judgment that took place.
But my point is that it wasn't any unnecessary judgment, and like.
Sure, it was all coming from a familial circle, I guess is what you're trying to say. In that sense, yes.
The thing is, with like all these trees and all these plants and all that, it's like none of those things judge you. It's like you can be whoever you want to be out there, and like nobody cares because it's just you and the woods and then the universe, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going off a bit of a tangent here, but it's like, I don't know. It's just perfect tranquility when I'm in the woods.
It's a detox trip.
Complete detox. Yeah, I
It
mean,
really is.
there are definitely so many invisible toxins in society, and when
Social and physical.
yes, social and physical, and the main one that I'm affected by, I don't know about you, but like it's much more social than physical for me.
Yeah, I'd say it has to be. It's like that for me too. But I mean, if you lived near any one of these major landfill projects, it's probably just as much physical as it is spiritual.
Yeah.
Or in a inner city like New York. But yeah.
And whenever I get back from the cabin, like I always have a very good life, like a good lifestyle.
You have a more optimistic view on things.
A good attitude, and that's because like you really have the chance to focus, just like we were talking about earlier.
What matters to you.
On what matters to you, and you just don't have the chance to do that in like the densely populated areas.
No, exactly.
It may be possible. It may be possible for, I don't know if it's possible for you, Alex, but for me and Peter,
No.
it's just not possible to have a clear head when we're around everybody.
Like a sea of people.
I think for some people that is the case. For me, I would not say so. Like I can kind of like things can be a bit overwhelming when large groups of people for me as well. So I do agree with that sentiment, but I think that's a person by person basis as well.
I agree with Alex Bejan because we have family members on my mom's side, a lot of them actually, where they like being in the crowd. They like the city. They don't like the work associated with keeping up maintenance in a rural place because you have to keep up the maintenance, your own self-maintenance and the maintenance of your living situation when you're doing a rural vacation. That takes work, and some people, for them, they like a lot of neurotypicals probably don't want to have to deal with that because they already bogged down from their own work, so they'd rather be served by somebody else.
Sure.
Do those things for them.
Definitely.
Like a whole crew, right?
Yeah, I mean, sort of going off of that, it's like I lost my train of thought. But like as soon as we got to the cabin on Saturday, we immediately started setting up and like getting to work. Like it takes work to open up the cabin. It takes work to close down the cabin.
Yeah, you got to remember.
It's just clean, honest work, and that's why I think I enjoy it so much. And that's why I think so many people don't.
Yeah, because you basically, the cabin entails you got to turn on the gas, which requires a knob, and then you have to have someone else in there that you know and trust with fire to light the pilot lights on the stove and the grill. Then you have to make sure look at this little power grid and make sure the clubhouse is getting electricity by flipping the switch. Then you got to make sure that the cabin's getting electricity, flip the switch. Hot water, flip the switch. You know, you got to make sure that the chimney's clean.
It's just a bunch of yellow, Peter.
You got to make sure that the chimney's clean and all that. and you got to make sure that the lawn is cut, there's gas in the lawnmower's working. It's a long drive from here to get to where they sell lawnmowers and parts for the lawnmower.
Yeah.
There's bills that need to be, like put into this Red Cabin Club thing that finances all this for everyone to go there. The roof could have a leak, like we had a roof leak last night over where my parents were sleeping. So that needs to be situated by them, and in the future it will become a responsibility of my own and Alex's, and Alex Ware's if he continues to come with us to the Beijing property. But yeah, it's a team effort doing these things, and and it requires an element of patience and trust in the other person or party.
So going off,
don't want to have to deal with that on vacation.
Yeah, going off of that a little bit, do you feel like you're more patient when you get back?
Yes, I feel like my patience, to be fair, is tested at the cabin sometimes.
That's valid. I mean, like even when it's not with your parents, like just like 3 or 4 dudes living together, that can be testy.
Oh, it can, because there's some dumb shit stuff that people are gonna do at the cabin, even myself.
Oh yeah.
We gotta like just be civil about it to the best we can at times.
For sure.
Like the water, for instance. My Uncle Matt wanted to plant these apple trees, so he did. Everyone pitched in and put in
I know where this is going.
Yeah, and I was driving at like 12 miles an hour down this bumpy dirt road, back road that almost nobody uses, as like quagmires, like those potholes, and they're, I'm going 12 miles an hour back there, and this guy on his Mr. YouTuber here is holding a 75-gallon like plastic cylinder full of the water.
Probably
So it
about
doesn't
400
fall out
pounds.
of my dad's Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably about 400 pounds of water. And I was going too fast and it fell out. And he had to be patient with me in that instance, and I had to be patient with him. I couldn't lose my shit at him. Well, I could have, but it just wouldn't have been good. But my point is that there's stuff like that's going to happen at the cabin. If you're trying to add something new to it, that requires love and work.
Well, I think it's definitely okay to experiment at the cabin. And they try something new, like see if something works better than
it's one of the
to.
safest places to do it, but it's also one of the most dangerous places too, because there's really no one else there to help you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, didn't you say we were like a 20-minute drive from the nearest hospital?
Yeah.
Like if we got bit by something or we broke our leg, we're pretty much screwed.
I'd say at the very least 20 minutes, if not a half hour.
And that's part of the reason why this appeals to me so much. It's sort of a test of self-care, really, and like self-resilience.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like you're fucked if something goes wrong out there.
I mean, yeah, like if you're shooting the 22 and nobody said stay behind and was recognizing it, or like somebody got like they're shooting a BB gun and it's like
doesn't understand basic gun safety.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just someone doesn't understand basic gun safety.
It's more common than you think. Yeah.
I'm sure it is, and that's where we would run into problems, right? That's why there's only a selected few that come up here, because there's all these equipments up here that could seriously hurt somebody.
That's right.
And they may want to help, they may mean well, but if they just use it willy-nilly, taught or not, somebody could get hurt.
So we're going back on the highway right now. We're getting into civilization. I have one more question for you two. How are you going to use this time of peace and serenity? How are you going to use that to your advantage when you get back? How do you usually do that?
I reflect on all the good times I had there, and in my youth, I think about how I'm going to go back.
What about you, Alex?
Just glad that I had a good time.
Yeah.
With, some good people.
Hell yeah,
gentlemen,
hell yeah.
Good parents.
It's time to get back into the grind now. Like,
It's time to get back to work.
Look forward to next time.
Look forward to next time. Get back into the real world of the grind.
Yeah. I mean, just like,
Yes.
you need a vacation every once in a while, no matter who you are, no matter how mentally strong you are. I mean,
At some point.
being a human is hard work, and you gotta take a break sometimes.
Right.
Anyways, guys, we are 3 out. We got 3 hours to go. It's gonna be a long ride.
Shy of 4 actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're going to Plymouth.
Oh, that's true. Damn it.
We're like about 30 minutes, not 30, probably like 10 minutes from Grayling at the rate we're going.
All right. Well, Peter and Alex, I've enjoyed a great weekend with you guys.
Yep.
Happy Independence Day. Happy birthday, America. Well, this won't be when this is coming out, but as of now, it is July 4th. So, everyone watching, happy late 4th of July.
Happy late 4th of July.
Anything you two want to say? Anything else?
Cherish nature and cherish each other that are close to you in your life.
Amen.
Because there are some people with Asperger's that I can guarantee with near certainty that don't get to have these experiences just because of their situations.
100%. We are very blessed, comparatively. Alex?
No words.
Okay. Same, dude. No words. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you're new. And see you on Monday. Bye.